Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Daisy, and for today's video I want to share with you guys my postpartum story. Let's begin. After my C-section, I was sent to recovery. Maximilian Alexander was born Friday, September 12th, 2014 at 6:19 a.m. He weighed 6 pounds 2 ounces and was 18 inches long. It was during shift change. The night shift was leaving and the new team for morning was taking over. There was not complications with me. I was awake and the baby was, doing fine. We were there with the baby. They came and checked the baby, and I was there for, I think it was due to the shift change, but yeah, it was a few hours before we were sent to the postpartum unit. And at this time I was you guys are gonna have to bear with me because it's still very hazy. I think due to the medication, the anesthetic, I was still very out of it. I was there, I was awake. It was all this excitement, I think, that was keeping me up, but at the same time my head, I guess my brain wasn't working currently. I can't really remember exactly everything, but it's just like this hazy memory that yes, I do remember key elements, but not exactly fully everything or conversation. I do remember my doctor stopped by and just to check on me, and he was happy and relieved that everything went fine, and he just joked that we didn't wait for him because he was ready to perform the C-section in the morning, but due to complications, and I just we just decided that we didn't want to risk it, and just decided to do the C-section. So he just wanted to check on us, and then he left. I remember doing some skin to skin with my baby as well, and my husband next to me, and we tried to do breastfeeding, but first time mom, yeah, I did took the birthing class, and they did mention it, and they kind of like show you how to put your baby and things like that, but seriously, I think it caused more damage than the result. It was just a mess. Okay, so we were there for a few hours like I mentioned, and then we were transferred to the postpartum unit, and we got our room, and I was more comfortable and to be in my room with my baby. Our nurse was very nice, and I remember the first thing I was, no one told me this, I wasn't ready for this, but they made me get up, get out of the bed. I remember my husband and the nurse helping me get up, and just been a few hours since my C-section, and already like let's get up and walk to the bathroom. And I just remember getting up. I don't remember having any pain or anything, and I just felt something running out of my legs, but that's it. And I didn't even want to look, but I guess my husband, now he tells me he was shocked how much blood was coming out, and I guess that's what they wanted to do. And I don't quite remember what I did in the bathroom. I guess if I wanted to use the bathroom, but seriously, with all that anesthesia and me, and it was still on me, I couldn't even feel my legs. It was quite difficult to coordinate everything. I don't remember going back to bed, but I believe the nurse helped me clean up. in the bathroom. They cleaned me out. They changed, you know, a new pad. It's this huge underwear with the pads. You know, that was another thing that, you know, I was not really expecting. I'm sorry, first time mom. And, you know, you don't really, you know, you kind of just read when you're pregnant, at least myself, I just read about, you know, my baby's development and, you know, things like that and symptoms. I didn't really do any research on every of the postpartum things for myself, just, you know, baby stuff, but not for myself. So it was, you know, totally different, new experience, kind of shocking. I was walking within hours of having a major surgery. I just tried to follow directions from my nurse, from my doctor. You know, I think they're, you know, advocating for myself and, you know, what's gonna be helpful for my recovery. So I really truly appreciate my baby there. We're still skin to skin. We're trying to breastfeed a kind. People visiting me. I remember now my mom and then people, my brother, and but I'm still kind of like out of myself. I remember the first night my baby was really good, with the exception of I remember the first night going by and finally I was able to eat something. I believe it was already kind of late, maybe like 7 p.m. Didn't eat that entire day, almost 2 days without food. And I was starving my baby. I tried breastfeeding. You guys, I gotta be honest with you guys. You know, I wanted to breastfeed my baby. That was my goal. I wanted to be able to breastfeed him. You know, like before, I wanted to have an all natural birth. That was my goal. That was my plan. I wanted all these, you know, natural birthing and all these things that I wanted, but, you know, C-section happened and I kind of felt a little bit bad, but I knew that was the best option for my baby's health, as well as possibly my own health as well. But, you know, I wanted to breastfeed him as well. And, you know, the first night I feel that, and now looking back, I feel really horrible with myself. And, you know, I really felt that in the hospital they were really trying to push me for breastfeeding, which, you know, I appreciate. I just feel that he was not properly, I don't even think if he got to have some of my milk, if I was producing enough milk for him, or I feel he was not latching correctly. He was really having a difficult time. I don't quite remember the name they give them, but lactose, you know, the lactose experts, you know, they go room by room and they kind of show you skin to skin and how to put your baby. At this time, it's almost, it was pretty late. I remember my baby was a little restless. I feel like he was a little bit, he was hungry for sure. And me with all this medication and things like that, and then I feel like that whole, since I have him and try to breastfeed him, just destroy my nipples, seriously, destroy my nipples. And, you know, I was eventually, slowly, you know, as the anesthetic and all the pain medication goes away, I started feeling really my breasts, especially when we went home and the days went by. Oh my goodness, I just couldn't feel my breasts anymore. It hurt really bad. You know, they tried to show me and it pushed, and it kind of almost felt that make you feel guilty if you ask for a formula or something, or if he's not gonna drink your milk, if you offer a formula and things. I really felt really pressure, honestly, to be honest. And, you know, people learn, and now, you know, I learned from that experience, and you shouldn't feel ashamed to ask for a formula. Whatever it takes to feed your baby, that's the best thing, to look after your baby. And that was like one of the mistakes I made, because I really felt this pressure to be able to breastfeed my baby. And I think it's wrong to kind of like make these new moms feel this way. You know what I mean? You know, you gotta do what you gotta do to feed your baby. And it's not that I didn't want to breastfeed him. I wanted to, but I feel he was unable to do it the proper way without, you know, hurting me really bad. And I feel he was just biting my nipple. He was not really sucking at my breast. He was just like biting my nipple. And you know, I went by and still, you know, we only stayed 2 nights. And you know, the third night we could have stayed, but my doctor just, you know, came back the next morning. He said everything looks fine, you know, you want to go home, you can go home, you're doing great, you know, everything looks great, you're healing fine. And I was also, you know, getting up out of my bed and, you know, trying to walk around the unit, follow my doctor's direction as well as my nurse. I tried to do that because I want to recover, you know, as quick as I can. And the other, you know, on the other side, I was kind of like stressing out about my baby being unable to, you know, maybe he was not getting enough milk, and he kind of got really restless on the second night. He was a good baby, and I feel that he got a little restless because I feel he was hungry. And you know, I was not really providing him enough food, but at the same time I didn't feel, you know, the support of the staff in the hospital, you know, wanting me or offering me like formula. I really felt really like that way, to be honest with you guys. Not looking back, that's how I feel. And you know, my husband and I, well, let's just go home, get comfortable. And you know, but my baby overall, he was really good. I remember I got discharged. My husband, he was so good. He was changing every single baby's diaper, and if I needed to get up and things like that, he was on top of, you know, with the baby. I was kind of like, he was also helping me, but you know, he was really hands-on with the baby, which I'm really thankful for everything and all the things he did. We get home, and that night, you know, he did pretty good. He will sleep and things like that, but I just feel he was extremely tired. I feel he was not, you know, getting the food that he needed and things like that. I know babies sleep a lot, but I was kind of getting a little concerned. Then that third night, it was really, you know, a rough night. I started pumping milk, and it was barely maybe an ounce or 2 per day. I mean, I was pumping, I feel that I was pumping non-stop constantly, but it was not even a lot of, you know, milk and things like that. And I really feel really bad. And you know, that day, the next day, we decided and we said, you know what, this is, you know, this is enough. We have to feed our baby. And my husband drove to the store and brought the formula, and we decided we're gonna have whatever you want to pump. And I did try my hardest, you guys. I tried to, you know, pump, and I don't know if I was doing it correctly. And then we got like smaller, you know, caps for the pump, and it just felt like, you know, my breast, I don't know if there's like even like extra small size for pumps, because I feel like it was not really correctly feeding around my breast. I don't know. And we decided to start formula and not feel ashamed. I guess, you know, some way I gotta be honest with you guys, I did feel this pressure to be able to breastfeed for all these stuff that I think it's really important, and it's the best thing if you're able to nurse your baby. But if you're unable, I honestly was trying my best to be able to do it. You know, I will cry. I felt really bad for myself, in a sense of I felt like a horrible mom. But then I look at my baby and, you know, he's hungry and he wants to eat and I'm not providing enough. And I said, you know what, break this chain, break all this, you know, stereotype. And you know, because sometimes you feel, you know, we used to go and buy the formula and it did really felt, you know, like if people were looking down at me for buying the formula. And maybe they were, probably they're not even doing that, they're not even like paying attention to what was buying, but I really felt that way. And I think that's not right, and I think that's not, we shouldn't be doing that. We don't know, you know, the situation of, you know, mothers and fathers, and we don't know what's going on. So, you know, I decided, you know what, let's just focus on, you know, feeding him and things like that. And once he started feeding him and, you know, having the, you know, the food there for him and enough food, but at the same time I was also trying to feed him like whatever I can pump out of my breast. I was trying to do that as well, and I did that for a while. Seriously, I pumped for maybe 3-4 months, I want to say. And you know, my husband says like, you know what, I think you did the most that you could have done, and I really appreciate you trying really hard and, you know, try to pump and, you know, all those things. But you know, I think, you know, you already done, you know, with all this, so just don't worry about it and let's move on and just, you know, take care of our baby. He likes to eat and he really liked to eat, and you know, I'm pretty lucky that he did not had any, you know, issues with the formula or with eating or throwing up or things like that. No. And myself, I recovered really fast. I did need like some help from my husband to help me like with showers and things like that at the beginning, but after that, you know, I was very blessed that he was able to get some time off from work and help us. And you know, when he had to go back to work, I was a little intimidated with my baby in the sense of, oh my gosh, like, you know, hopefully I can't, you know, do it. But you know, eventually. But at first I was intimidated because my husband was very hands-on on the baby. He was doing a lot of stuff. I think he was doing most of the stuff with the baby that early, you know, the early month, that for, you know, from month that I believe that he was with us. And I am really thankful for all that. But overall, he liked to sleep. He woke up for his feeding, but we were very blessed during, you know, my recovery time. And the baby, once he started eating, he was totally fine. So thank you so much guys for tuning in for this video. I hope you like it. So thank you guys and see you next time. Bye. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed the video, give a big thumbs up. Please don't forget to subscribe and click the bell for new video notification. Leave a comment down below and share. Bye.